Hey Adventure Seekers, in this episode, a new action vehicle for a sneak approach on wildlife.
I See Adventures.
Hey Adventure Seekers, today we're in Cottage Grove at Ravine Park in Minnesota. Every new place I visit seems to have an element of surprise. Discovering these new areas seems to make it a new favorite place. Almost every time. Laura's been here before, but this is the first time for me visiting this park. And I can hardly wait to see this place in full bloom. Make way for the water. This is the central draw overflow. When there's a storm, water finds its way over terrain to lakes and streams. Around here, ravines provide a natural path for runoff. But left uncontrolled, this landscape historically produced flooding, and lots of it. The central draw overflow leverages forms in landscapes. These areas are often dry, but during some very large storms, it becomes a man-made river. From as far north as Oakdale and Woodbury, stormwater is safely conveyed through Ravine Park to the Mississippi River. This is the first time the action vehicle has been in the water. I had to add 2 pontoons to each side to give it more of a stable platform, which seems to work. I'm not looking for any kind of speed record with this boat. I just want some candid shots, nice and slow. The only problem I see so far is on this first run, I forgot to hit the record button. That's too bad, because that would have made a nice shot. I think it's time to move this rig to the other lake down here. that was the shot I was after. So I'm down here in my shop and I wanted to explain this prototype. I built this as a prototype knowing that eventually I would build a better boat. This is kind of a toy and maybe just a little bit more of an explanation of how I intended to use this. I really want to get some swamp shots at night. This vehicle, I did put a fairly bright light on it. It's just attached with Velcro, but it is extremely bright. I bought this OD VRM action cam really cheap, and this is probably going to be one of those videos about you get what you pay for. I was happy enough with the camera. Recently I went to use the Wi-Fi app on my phone so I could actually see what I was shooting out on site, and they no longer support that app, and there's not a follow-up app to replace it. So I'm really let down on this camera. I mean, I think that the manufacturer's got to understand if they're going to make a camera, cheap or not, that they should support those apps that they create for their camera. And the Wi-Fi for me was going to be important because I was going to use my phone as a monitor when I'm out using this camera. And I gotta believe that I've seen a lot of guys put this on their drones and it would be the same deal. The other problem with these cheap action cams is I found that there is a serious lag time from the Wi-Fi camera to the phone, so there's a lot of compensation for that. DRMV, support your apps. I built the prototype to see if I wanted to invest any more money, to see what that action cam was going to do on a boat. So this is the remote for the cheap boat, and you can see the problem I had with this remote is, you know, the steering, you were constantly fluctuating back and forth to try to straighten the boat out. So, you know, here again, you get what you pay for, but I didn't expect much from this. So here's the new boat that I bought. It's not much more expensive, but a little bit, and it's got a bigger platform to start with. I got this from Harbor Freight for about, I think it was 60 bucks. So here's the difference in the remote. Obviously I had to make a mount for this, and I'll go into this build on the next episode, but it's just Sintra that I built to hold the camera on. I used a regular car mount phone holder and attached it to the back of the Sintra. This controller should give me a lot more control over the steering of the boat. Plus, even with the lag time, at least I'll have a monitor that I can see what my camera's actually looking at and just compensate for that lag time. This is a little hypocritical on my part. I went and bought another cheap action cam, actually two of them, because the idea is I want to have one on top of the boat and one on the bottom. So as I go up to these turtles or any other thing, I can get kind of a split shot of both underwater and above. So I bought these action cams at Menards. If this works and I get what I want out of the footage, I'll invest in some GoPro cameras for this action boat. So in the next video, I will do a build on this boat and just show you how I mount the action cam mounts and what my process is for that. And like I said, this is a work in progress. I'm not even sure how the boat's gonna drive or steer with the action cam on the bottom of the boat. So I look forward to sharing that build with you in the next video. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. And hey, thanks for watching.
I see adventure.